I was under the impression that when babies are born, they just know how to sleep, that is just instinct, and it's so not the case.
Hello everybody and welcome to Sleep Talk. I'm here today with Olivia Kirk.
Hello.
Who is a sleep expert from Harrogate.
Yeah.
Welcome, Olivia.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. And we're hoping today to talk about everything sleep and basically get a bit of an insight into what you do and how that can help people hopefully have a better night's sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my aim.
Brilliant. And yeah, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I first got into doing sleep coaching or being interested in sleep when I actually had my little boy, because I've always loved sleep. I don't do well on not a lot of sleep.
Okay.
So I made it my mission to get my baby to sleep well so that I could continue to sleep well, because I knew that if I'm grumpy, my baby's going to be grumpy. My partner's probably going to be grumpy as well. So from that, it's just snowballed really. And I've just learned loads about adult sleep, the science behind it, everything really, because it's such a huge topic and I don't think people really take it seriously enough.
And you're known as the Yorkshire Sleep Coach, so guys, look out for that. So give us a little bit of an insight as to what you've learned. Let's start with the kids then.
I was under the impression that when babies are born, they just know how to sleep, that is just instinct, and it's so not the case. We have to teach them, how they can sleep independently. We have to teach them how to be happy and comfortable sleeping, basically giving them the tools to grow up being a good sleeper. Similar to like you would teach them how to ride a bike. We have to teach those good habits and create good sleeping environments to get that good sleep. Otherwise, unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. And you're going to end up with a very tired baby, very tired parents, and overall quite an unhappy household. From that, I then started working with parents and things like that. And then I found that parents, even though their child was sleeping, they were really struggling to sleep as well. So that's what sort of led me into working with adult sleep as well and learning more about the science behind adult sleep, which is just so interesting.
So with regards to adult sleep then?
A lot of it is sort of psychology based. I mean, I'm not medical, I'm not a doctor, so I can't, go out and prescribe things and give people therapy. But a lot of it is just having someone to from the outside to look into your sleeping habits is so eye-opening. Things that you might be doing that you don't even realise is a bad habit, but for someone else to just say.
As an example?
So, for example, someone who goes to bed at 8 o'clock, sits on the laptop, does a bit of work, and then goes to sleep at 10:30, and then really struggles to sleep past sort of 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. What to them they think is a great routine. They go up to bed at 8, they're relaxed, they're calm, they don't see a problem with it. Whereas I look at it and think, you're looking at a screen for nearly 2.5 hours before your bed. That's going to activate your brain to just be in overdrive. So although you've fallen asleep at 10:30, you're not actually sleeping very deeply or actually very restoratively, which is what's causing you to wake up so early in the morning and not get back to sleep. If someone came to me and told me that this was their bedtime routine, I would say, okay, well, let's leave the laptop downstairs, maybe go up to bed at 9 o'clock and have no screen time and get into your bedtime routine that way and see if that helps.
And have you done that with anybody? And how much of an effect has it had?
So a lot of people, I mean, myself included, a lot of people will go to bed, we sit and scroll on our phones.
Yeah.
You do your last little Instagram check or TikTok check or whatever. It's just the norm. And that's usually where I start with a lot of my clients. People especially who have busy jobs and, they work long hours. They come home and that time in bed or on the sofa before bed is their time to chill. So they sit and they scroll and they scroll and they scroll.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm all for it. I do the same. But when it's impacting your sleep, that's when we should start to look at that and think, right, maybe sort of half an hour before you want to fall asleep, let's cut back on that screen time.
Is that the time you would think, about an hour?
Yeah, which I know is quite difficult. It can be quite difficult. Even start 15 minutes, work your way up to 30, work your way up to 45, then an hour, and really just see how much you can do. Start doing other things, read a book. I do a lot of breath work with some of my clients, so you can practice different breathing techniques. If you go to bed with a partner or something, just sit and chat to them for 20 minutes or whatever. It's just a way for your brain to just relax and not be seeking that cortisol that comes from blue light.
From blue light. So do you recommend the blue light reduction glasses? Do they help at all?
I mean, I don't really know because I'm not really medical. I mean, I think it depends on person to person. It might stop you getting headaches, if you're looking at the screens during the day.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't imagine it would have a huge impact on your sleep if you were to just start wearing them.
Okay. Now going back to the kids, what works then from what you've tried? So because quite obviously I think there's be a lot of mums out there that will be thinking about, okay, then I can't get my kids to sleep.
Routine.
Yeah. So
routine is key. It doesn't have to be a super strict routine, but some kind of timeline that you follow throughout the day, because everyone has their own little routines, whether it's a 2-step routine or a 10-step routine in the morning, at lunchtime, or on a night. We all have them. We all have routines. Babies and kids love them. It helps them know what to expect. If you always have your lunch, you clean them up after they've had a messy lunch, and then you go for a nap. If you do that every day, or as often as you can, your child is then going to learn, okay, we're having lunch, this means I'm going to go to bed soon. Helps them fall asleep quicker, helps them be happier going to bed. At bedtime, get your bedtime routine down to a T, because it's so beneficial for you as well, for parents as well, knowing that come 6:30 you have a routine that you can follow. It can be a bit of a lifesaver, especially if you've had a long day, your child's been a bit fussy, 6:30 comes, it's going to be a bit of a peaceful bedtime routine.
So you're going to have time for yourself then after that.
It gets you through the day, knowing that time is coming.
Brilliant. And have you implemented these with different children?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of my clients that I work with are children. A lot of them come to me with, I don't know where to start with a routine. We've tried something, it doesn't work. We followed something for a couple of days, but it didn't work. So I always start with all of my clients getting an age-appropriate routine, following your baby's biological internal clock, your circadian rhythm, working with that, working with their melatonin levels, their sleep hormones, and creating a routine that fits with that. And after doing it for a week or so, because it doesn't happen overnight,
of course,
no big change will happen overnight. After a week or so of implementing this routine, I have so many parents that say to me, oh my God, I didn't realise it was so easy. Why didn't I do this sooner? I wish I'd stuck to it before. But yeah, routine is absolutely key.
Oh, that's excellent. And what about going back to what we do with regards to having a good mattress or a good bed? How important is that?
Absolutely crucial. Your sleep environment, your mattress is all part of your sleep hygiene.
Yeah.
Which is one of the main elements when it comes to sleep. So you need something that's going to be comfortable, because not many people can sleep if they're not comfortable. You need something that's going to be healthy as well. You don't want a dingy old mattress that you've had for 20 years, because it's not a healthy mattress. It's not a healthy environment for you to be sleeping in.
Yeah.
So having a good mattress, a good sleep environment that you're in, good bedding, everything like that is so crucial to sleep, because fundamentally that's what's providing you the comfort to sleep.
And how many hours would you say is decent night's sleep?
It varies from person to person. Women actually, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a woman, but women actually do need more sleep than men.
Yeah.
Scientifically, I would say anywhere from about 6 to 8 hours is good. Anything less than that, if you're doing it consistently, is going to really start affecting your mental and physical health. And
going back to the mattress again, what you were saying before, I've told people when they've had things, said, oh yeah, this mattress is fine, they've had it for like 10, 12 years, and they're like, yeah, I sleep fine, but they don't realise the difference a more up-to-date
Yeah.
mattress would make, because their bodies just got used to the way that mattress lies. And what they don't actually realise is they're shedding skin every night.
Yeah.
And all that skin is going inside the mattress, and that's built up over the 12 years they've had it, and
Yeah.
they're sleeping on that.
Yeah,
And
when
that
you think
doesn't
about
sound
it,
nice, does it?
mattresses
Right?
are kind of gross.
Yes,
Like,
because of what's
Yeah.
they've got all that space inside.
But people are scared of change. People are scared of, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But then it takes a change to realise actually what you've been missing out on. So your mattress might be okay now. It might be a memory foam one that's moulded to your body. But how do you know that you're getting the best night's sleep if you don't try something new?
So what are simple changes that people can make to their routine then?
Giving themselves 15, 20 minutes to do the same thing every night before bed. Whether you go to bed at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever time it is to go to bed. Give yourself a little 3-step routine. You go upstairs, you brush your teeth, you wash your face, do your skincare, whatever, anything like that. Do the same 3 to 5 things, and your body naturally will fall asleep a lot quicker, because that's really the main problem with people's sleep, is the time it takes for them to fall asleep. So if you can start doing a few little changes, implement a little routine before bed, it's going to help you fall asleep much quicker.
And with what you've done with your own child, how do you sleep now?
I sleep like a baby. I mean, not the minute because I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
So, but usually, I sleep so well. Yeah, sleep so good.
So you've got a good mattress then?
Yeah, we just got a new one as well, actually. It's
Brilliant.
Very, very good. Yeah, sleep a lot better on this one than we did the other one.
Your baby, how old now?
He'll be 3 in October.
Yeah.
And he sleeps like a dream.
And how is his routine now? Has it changed from the age of, when he was
Yeah,
a baby
absolutely,
to now?
it changes, but the fundamentals are still exactly the same. We go upstairs, he has a bath or a wash, brush his teeth, we do a book, have some milk if he wants some milk, and bedtime. That's it. We set the boundaries. There's no delay tactics of, just one more book. Oh, let me just play with this toy. Oh, let me just do this. It's no, that's it. That's the bedtime routine. He knows it. He loves it. And I can walk out, shut the door, and he's saying, night, night, mummy. And that's it. Don't hear from him till 7 o'clock the next morning.
Brilliant. So is it more difficult for you to teach that routine to babies and children, or is it more difficult for adults to change their routine?
Oh, adults, 100%. Yeah, adults are very stuck in their ways. And quite a lot of adults, they won't believe me. So they'll be like, oh, yeah, I get what you're saying, but, scrolling on my phone for 10 minutes isn't going to change the way I sleep. But actually it does. So adults are a lot more difficult because they're a lot more set in their ways. There's a lot more variables as well with adults that can affect their sleep. They might be working later, or they might be out one night, or their partner is working late, so they've gone to bed on their own, and rather than going to bed with someone, things like that can change it. The weather. Mm-hmm. So, if it's really hot or if it's really cold, that affects people's sleep. Adults feel that a lot more than what kids do. So yeah, adult sleep is definitely more complex, especially if they've learned bad habits all the way through their adult life. It's a lot harder to change. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean you can't change, and that doesn't mean that you can't get good results, because you can. It just takes a little bit more work.
So in your experience then, what would be the biggest factor that stops people from getting to sleep?
Stress. Absolutely. Stress and sleep deprivation go hand in hand. Most people will say, I didn't sleep last night, I was thinking about this, or I was apprehensive for the next day, or whatever. It's, most definitely stress. And stress is fine.
Yes.
We all have it. We all have it. We all go through a little bit of stress. I can't eradicate stress from people's lives. What I like to do with people that I work with, I just work with someone who works in a big finance company. Mm-hmm. They had their end of year tax return, I don't really know, something like that, but it was causing them a lot of stress.
Okay.
They came to me and they said, they were already stressing about the stress. My job, I said, well, I can't eradicate that. I can't change what's going to happen, but I can change the way that you view it. You know, so we did little things. We wrote a little sleep diary. We wrote to-do lists. This person was very visual, very liked to see what they could do. So we made a plan. We wrote out a plan together that they could physically tick off and say, yeah, right, I've done that. Don't need to stress about it.
So do you think it's a good idea when people have got things that they're thinking about that they're going to do tomorrow to write them down before they go to bed, so they kind of clear their head because they're there and they don't need to think about them? Does that have an impact?
Definitely. Have a notebook next to your bed and a pen or something.
Yeah.
And if you go to bed and you suddenly think, oh gosh, I need to ring the doctors tomorrow, or oh gosh, it's bin day, or just silly little thing, anything, absolutely anything that pops into your mind, or just write it down, and then it's there the next day, and you're not going to bed thinking, I've got to remember, I've got to remember, because chances are you probably won't, and then you stress about not remembering it, and you can eradicate all that by just writing it down.
So Olivia, coming back to yourself then, what is your bed routine, sleep routine in a sense?
After I've put my little boy to bed, I tend to kind of do the same thing every day. He'll go to bed, I'll go upstairs and I'll have a shower or a bath or whatever, put my pyjamas on, go downstairs. I'll usually clean up, tidy up the toys, do things like that, which clears my mind because it means that my house is tidy, my kitchen's ready for the morning, and that just puts me in a peaceful state of mind. So I always do that. That's non-negotiable. And then it kind of varies what I do. If my husband's at home, he'll sort of stay in and I'll maybe take the dog for a walk, get some fresh air, because fresh air's great for sleep. And especially at the minute with me being pregnant, I'm very restless. So I'll go out for a walk, do that, get some fresh air, and then we'll just sit and watch TV and we'll chat, or I'll do a bit of work. And then we recently have made a bedtime or going upstairs time at 9:30, because we were quite bad for just one more episode, or we'll just finish this film, or we'll just
so many
do
people
that.
with a binge,
so many people
binge
do.
watching,
so
Netflix
many people.
and so on and everything.
But I was noticing that it was impacting my sleep by doing that. We had just started watching Grey's Anatomy, so we were up. Oh, one more episode. Always watching it, and it was impacting my sleep. I was going to bed thinking about it too much. So I said, right, we're not doing that anymore. 9:30, TV's off, and we're going upstairs. And then going upstairs, I'll brush my teeth, do my skincare routine, maybe have a little tidy up of the bedroom, whatever. And then we'll get into bed, phone's on charge, don't touch our phones, and then just go to bed.
And how quickly do you fall asleep then?
I would say I fall asleep quite quickly. If for whatever reason I can feel myself not being able to fall asleep quickly, I'll get up, I'll maybe go downstairs and get a glass of water, come up to bed and try again.
So some people just kind of toss and turn and start.
Yeah.
So for them people, if they're awake at 2:00, would you recommend that they get up and
definitely
do something else?
Yeah, I would recommend get up, go downstairs, get a glass of water and restart, go back to bed, try again. Because tossing and turning, it stresses you out, because I don't know if anyone else, but you clock watch and think, oh God,
yes,
I've got to be up in 3 hours. I've got to be up in 2, and it stresses you out and you can't sleep.
Yeah.
So get up, go downstairs, accept the fact you're awake, can't change it, you're awake now, it's happened. Go back to bed, fresh mind, don't look at your phone, don't look at the clock if you can help it, and try again.
So with regards to your work then, what can people expect, a client expect from you from a session?
All of my work is completely personalised to you. I don't do anything generically. None of the content that I give you or the advice that I give you, yes, it's generalised because it's the advice that I give, but I will always tailor it to you. I'm very aware that not everyone can follow a strict 9-to-5 routine, or people's jobs take them sometimes across the world or across the country or anything like that. They travel, so I always really try and stay relevant to my clients. I'm also a huge mental health advocate. I think it's so important.
Yeah.
So I will always make sure that my client's mental health is sort of at the root of what I do. And I won't be afraid to say, listen, you need to maybe stop. If you've got to the position where you need to feel you can work with me, you need sort of more professional help, then I feel quite comfortable saying to people, listen, your sleep's not going to improve unless you do this. Again, I'm not medical, so I can't, prescribe anything. I'm not a psychologist or anything like that. But what I can do is just open your eyes a little bit more to what it might be that's causing these sleep problems.
And how does the lack of sleep affect people's mental health from your experiences?
So, as I said before, that stress affects sleep. Lack of sleep makes people stressed. So it's kind of a downward spiral. It also, you just feel tired. You feel worn out. You can't be bothered. And that is detrimental to your mental health. Historically, people who suffer with depression or anxiety, they struggle to sleep a lot more. So quite a lot of the people that I speak to and work with, have some kind of background in that. So again, that's just at the root of what we talk about. I make sure that they've got a handle on that before we look at going into their sleep. No one wants to be tired. No one wants to be exhausted all the time. It's hard work.
Yeah, you don't feel like doing anything then,
yeah, it's hard work being exhausted. Yeah. So if I can help that, then I will.
Excellent. So we've talked about the mental side, the mental health and so on and everything. From your experience again, what would you say, how much of an effect it has on people's physical health rather than just their mental?
Yeah, so I think people don't realise how much sleep can affect your physical health. Everyone, if they don't get a lot of sleep, their muscles maybe feel a bit more tired, but chronic health diseases such as diabetes, heart failure, heart disease, anything like that, sleep can be a factor. I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying if you don't sleep well, you're going to get this. When you sleep, this is when your body repairs itself, it restores, all your internal functions do their job. Again, I'm not medical, so I don't know all the medical terms, but
it's proven.
Yeah, it's proven. And diabetes, for example, when you sleep, your body processes the sugars, and if you're not getting that rest, your body can't do that. So your sugar levels are going to be up and down, and that can lead to people being diabetic. Again, heart disease, things like that, your body's not getting the time to rest and restore. And if that's happening for a prolonged period of time, and I'm talking about years, not just a few weeks that you've not slept well, I'm talking about years of not sleeping, then a huge impact on many of your physical health issues. A lot of doctors now, if you go to them with concerns about your heart, your liver, kidney, anything like that, they'll ask about your sleep and your sleeping habits, because it is really, really important.
How important is it to talk about sleep? Because I don't think it's talked about enough. From now from everything that you're doing, we need to get this message out there. It's not just about what we do with mattresses and so on and everything. It's about people's well-being. So how important is it for people to kind of think and look at what they're doing?
So it's funny you say that. Like, everyone talks about sleep.
When they don't sleep.
Like, right, so it's always like, oh, I'm tired, I didn't sleep that well, and then that's it. It wasn't. No one ever dives a bit deeper and says, well, why didn't you sleep well? Do you want to talk about it? What's going on that's not helping you sleep? As a nation, we don't sleep nearly as much as what we should. And I think employers should really keep an eye on how much their employees are sleeping or how much work they're doing. I know that there's a lot more flexible working hours and working from home these days, especially since COVID and everything. But you do still get the big companies, finance or in law or anything really that's a big stressful job. Employers aren't taking the steps needed to ensure that their employees are getting the sleep they deserve.
So do you think siestas would be good?
Yeah, oh God, yeah, I'm all for a siesta.
Right, because babies sleep, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Sleep in the afternoon, so we're kind of programmed to do that. In the first place.
Actually, our biological system tells us, we all have a bit of a slump.
Somewhere about 3 o'clock.
Just about about 3 o'clock. That is the time everyone has a slump. And that's because your body is naturally just slowing down a little bit. And then we all get a second wind at like 6 o'clock when you come home and you think, oh, I'm going to have an early night tonight because I've been so tired. Then you get a spurt at 6 o'clock. That's because your body has gone into survival mode. You have a huge spike in cortisol, which is your stress hormone.
Yeah.
And your body goes into overdrive and you get this second wind. And a lot of people find that difficult to come down from, which is where you get a lot of your night owls and the people that stay up really late. But it's definitely something to be aware of. Maybe don't schedule a meeting for that hour. Maybe don't book in any clients that, depending on what you do.
Yeah, it's like for instance, if I take myself as an example, I had a few health issues recently in November, and since then, I'm in a privileged position that I can do that in the morning. If I don't need to go in a little bit early, or if I still feel tired, I'll stay asleep for another half an hour. And then wake up naturally and then go into work. Yeah. And I feel 10 times better because of it. Yeah. Just because of that.
Definitely. I mean, I know that a lot of people can't do that.
No.
But everyone can listen to their body.
Yeah.
And as a human right, you have the right to look after yourself. You have the right to conserve your own energy and your own well-being. If you're at work and you're really struggling with your days, speak to your boss. Speak to your manager, whoever, and just say, listen, in this hour, could I maybe be more desk focused or something like that. Listen to your body because it's telling you something for a reason.
And at the end of the day, if you're not right in that sense, you're not going to be as productive. You're not going to, you're not going to do the work that you're supposed to do, or you're going to get it wrong. Yeah. So which is going to be detrimental to the company as well.
Yeah. So employers should want to look after their staff. They should want to help them out so that they can be the best person that they can be.
That's really good. Yeah, I agree with a lot of that, considering. But I could probably chat with you, Olivia, all day. But we're coming to the end of the podcast. Yeah, it's been fantastic.
No, it has. Thank you for having me.
I think more and more people will hopefully get in touch with the Yorkshire Sleep Coach.
Definitely.
In the future.
Come my way.
And it's been lovely chatting to you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Even say action if you want.
Action.
This is the best one. Everybody else was like, what can we do? I'm like, no, I don't know what to do. I'll just do upside down just because. Will that do?
That'll take it. It's done it quite a few times.
Novelty's worn off a little bit.